Hey, tonight we are going through Ardbeg Wee Beastie, 5-year-old. It is 47.4% ABV, and we're going to stick our snouts in these glasses and see what is going on.
What's up?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. Hopefully, maybe this one.
Look at this. This was actually a birthday present for me because this is my wheelhouse.
It's a Wee
It's
Beastie.
a Wee. It's a Wee Beastie.
We're assuming it's your wheelhouse.
Well, that's true.
We don't know yet.
It is. This say Ardbeg, so we're gonna
I've
assume.
never had an
not much of a
Ardbeg. I
It
didn't-
comes from the wheelhouse area.
It does.
I can tell you right now,
Oh, we know now.
it's gonna be in a wheelhouse.
So this is interesting because I think this is the youngest age statement that Ardbeg has produced. It's a 5-year-old whiskey aged in ex-bourbon casks and Old Orso sherry. Ardbeg has put out, the Corey Vrecken, the Ugadale, and the Ano, which are non-aged. So they theoretically could be younger than this, but we'll see what's going on with this one.
But they're also more expensive than this too, right?
Right. This is on the order of like $50 for
Yeah,
this.
ironically enough, it's at half the
Little
age,
rough in
but
it?
it's still.
I guess you missed
I
it. I
missed
gave it to you.
It's still the around the same price point as the 10. So it'll be interesting. We do got to consider that in this review. This
Right.
is going to cost you about the same as that bottle of 10. So
What's the?
I can't believe. I thought
That's
the 10
hard
was
to
more
believe.
70 range.
no, everything I read about this, they said it was in the same
Wow.
same
Okay.
ballpark.
Well,
So we'll see.
How they compare ABV wise?
I don't know.
Oh, I think
don't
this
know.
is
That's
higher.
good.
I don't know if we got.
I don't think we have
here.
It's not on the
This
10,
box.
is it? Maybe it is.
46.
Oh,
So
so,
it's not
this
that much
is
difference.
lower.
So this is 47.
47.
47.
Yeah.
Okay.
So slightly higher ABV, slightly.
Slightly. I mean, that's insignificant in my view.
Huh.
So we know it's
1%.
ex-bourbon and we know it's ex
And you said it's
Oloroso,
sherry.
but
It's
we don't know.
very light.
We don't know the combination there or the
No,
ratio.
The
of
color
which
is. I mean,
cask
it's
is which.
a light straw or barely light amber, really light
Yeah.
amber. Not much color on it. Man.
It's got a cool nose to it.
Smells like Ardbeg.
Mm-hmm.
If you were thinking that it wasn't Ardbeg, you would.
I mean, it's got a very strong peaty nose.
Wow, but it is.
But there's sweetness to it.
There's a definite sweet foundation, but there's a overtone of pepper, cracked pepper, peat.
It's almost like a habanero pepper.
But
Almost
yeah,
spiciness
there's something
to it.
in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Or
I mean, the
banana
note-
pepper, maybe even too, like a
It's-
sweeter.
Yeah, I could see a banana pepper.
It's not an overly strong nose. I mean, it is,
No.
but it's not like a punch you in the face kind
No,
of nose.
I
You
mean,
know
Right.
what
you can get your nose right in there. It's at 47 ABV. It's not gonna burn you out.
Is this non-chill filtered?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
It is. I did read that though. Yes,
Boy,
it
it's
is.
rich. It's this.
There's even a hint of juicy for just a tiny bit.
So
So we were.
interestingly enough, researching this, I was trying to figure out exactly what the Ardbeg core lineup is at the moment, and it's hard to say from their website. They don't list core. They just list all their whiskeys right now that are out there, and some of them aren't core. Some of them are limited type things. But
Gotcha.
you've got the 10, the 5, the 10, the Ugadale, the Ano, the Corey Vrecken, Supernova. What else is out there? There's a couple of variations on the 10 that are special, like with the can or
Right.
with that. But there was one or two. Black was listed,
Yeah.
but I'm positive
That's
Black's
committee
not.
release. Yeah,
that's
that's
not
not a
core.
core.
Yeah, that's
Mm-mm.
committee. Yeah,
Well, and they probably have a non-committee release black.
which I wonder if that's core.
That's tasty.
I
So
can
now,
taste it.
now that the peat's wafting off a
Wow.
little bit, I get that juicy fruit. Absolutely.
You
know,
know, I'll tell you what, the earthy tones in this on the palate are intense.
Well, so the weird thing is when you said that pepper, the first thing I tasted on it was like a hot jalapeno or habanero. Not a habanero, not that hot.
it's got that like chili powder kind of
Okay.
like cayenne pepper, or you know what I mean,
On the
on the
finish.
nose and on the palate. I mean, it's got a spice to it, but you get the sweet mixed in with those really
Totally.
deep, rich earth tones.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice.
It is nice.
I mean, jalapeno
I got a
pepper.
really dry cedar on the palate.
Really?
It's as if you combined a banana pepper and a jalapeno pepper together and you rub some dirt on it.
Like this?
Yeah, it's like that.
I will say,
Okay.
after you take a sip, though, when you get into the nose, all that sweetness comes out.
Yeah, you definitely brings down the peat.
Yeah.
It's got
This is tasty.
kind of a nice aftertaste too. A little lingering, but not too much.
Not-
a little waxy.
Not overpowering.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a bit of a brine in the real late finish. I mean, that's all I have left on my palate right now is a little bit of salt.
Mm-hmm.
It is sweeter now in the nose. Now that I've tasted it,
In fact, second sip, interesting.
almost a bit of orange too.
The second sip, I'm getting almost more new make character. I mean, it's a kind of a brine, but it's not.
Yes.
It feels like it tastes a little bit new makey on the first.
It's almost. I didn't get all the earth tones on the second sip.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like pickle brine almost. I mean, it
Pickle
had that
brine,
like
yeah.
salty, watery, briny character. I didn't get as much earth tones, and it was weird because on the nose it's very sweet.
It is.
But then you take a sip, and on the palate I don't get much of that sweetness. On the second sip, the initial sip I got lots of sweet and lots of earth.
Yeah.
So it's changing as you go, which I find interesting.
That's pretty tasty, actually.
So I will say the nose is disappearing on it for me right now.
It's
Which is
almost.
disappointing.
I almost wish it was a little stronger.
Yeah.
Like I can sense that it's kind of weakening on the finish a little bit. Like it's I need a little bit more punch on that. I think the water might hurt it. I'm not sure.
It still has that pepper mid palate that we had before.
Yep.
The initial palate isn't quite as powerful, but I'd say it hasn't changed that much.
Nose is still pretty good so far. A quick rinse of water in there. Maybe a little bit more.
To me, the water brings out some of the brine character. On the nose, anyway. That's.
Yeah, I'm getting more phenol on the nose now. A little bit of. It's a little less smoky and more or peat, just the raw peat.
Mm-hmm. Almost a pickle now. You pickle brine earlier. It kind of smells like that in the nose too.
Just a
The
wee
banana
bit of
pepper has
water.
kind of gone away. That's that stronger smell that I had.
I think the palate actually held it pretty well. I mean, obviously it's more diluted, but it's not. It didn't disappear for sure.
No.
And the finish is.
Sweeter.
Yeah, the finish is bold. It's waxing. I mean, it feels more waxy because maybe the alcohol content's down.
Ooh, it's actually sweeter with water. Wow. I actually kind of like it with water. I'm surprised. I didn't
This
think
is
it would
like
hold
a
it.
$45 or $50 bottle too, which is not bad.
Yeah, this is pretty good. It's I can see where you're going to want more out of that. I think my guess when you do your review, you're going to want more of that, more ABV. But for what it is, so far I'm pretty pleasantly surprised. I mean, pretty good. Everybody ready? You guys are kind of like, uh-oh.
They don't like it.
You guys aren't liking it.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Want rock, paper, scissors?
He's like, this is not the Ardbeg I'm looking for.
Okay, so it's 5 years old. That's what I got to keep reminding myself. What was the price point here?
50
45 to
Okay,
50
so
bucks.
45, 50 bucks. 5-year-old whiskey. I honestly think it drinks like a 5-year-old whiskey. The nose was all over the place. In the beginning,
It's great.
I got some interesting notes on the nose, and then I'd put the cap on it, come back to it, and all I'd get is new make. And then I'd come back, and it was really peppery and spicy on the nose. And I'm like, damn, make up your mind. You're a little bit, all over the board.
the whiskey's changing, not him.
Hey, it's 5 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not like it's going to come at me with some maturity, so I get that. But on the palate, I up front, the palate was Ardbeg and enjoyable. The back end was way too spicy for me. That's all I got was just a long, lingering spice. And then after that went away, after a while, it was just brine. So I didn't expect to be blown away by a 5-year-old whiskey. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm going to say this is a 2 at best for me. It's Ardbeg, I will tell you that. You can blindfold it and smell it and be like, there's ice. And I know this came from that distillery, but I'm not getting much more out of it than that. Now maybe it sits here with that little wee bit of water on it and she blossoms into something better. But I mean, on the nose, I got everything from sweet sugar underlying nose to the peat on top. Come back after it and get almost a rosé smell, a little bit of a rose, and it was just everywhere. And then come back and it was just new make and whiskey. So it's like, give me something stable here, and it wasn't. So 2.
Fair enough.
That's generous. The way you describe it, it's like there's almost something good in it.
I didn't say it wasn't good.
Just not together.
Didn't knock you out.
Yep.
No, it was all over the place.
Yep. So I enjoy this glass. I think it's very approachable to me. It is not. It's not going to burn you out with a overpowering smoke. It has a balance of sweetness. I'm sure that's why they use that sherry in there to kind of balance out and add kind of lift the sweetness of this up. So you don't to kind of cover some of that new make flavor you're going to have in there. Totally understand that. Is it great whiskey? No, it's not really complex. It's good in it. There are a few kind of tones in there with the brine and the pepper. The pepper nose on the initial palate was really interesting. It did kind of disappear over time and with the water, but I still think it's a fairly good functional foundation. That's why this is kind of a foundational whiskey. I mean, even on their website, they say this is great for like a smoke, like a Rob Roy, because you get a smoky old fashioned or something like that. It's got enough potency for that, but it's not really fantastically well put together. So I'm going to go with 2.5 because at this price, I think it's well worth a peated whiskey on your bar. $50, absolutely put it in there.
Well, first of all, love the marketing. It's cool.
That's a Wee Beastie.
I do love the name.
They
Yeah.
know what they're doing. That's smart. I mean, it's going to sell for that alone. I think that it hits all the points on price. It hits a point on brand name. Hits a point on the marketing for sure. Absolutely knocks it out of the park for me. For the taste and palate, all that fun stuff. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's like, to your point, I don't think it's like super complex. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of different. I kind of like that banana pepper on the nose and jalapeno and a little bit of earth and it's kind of like, wow, I don't know if I've had anything like that yet in the Isla side of the house, and it's kind of interesting. It does taste young. It doesn't taste like it's super complex. I do on the palate. I do get a little bit of, now that I've had it for a while, it's sat here and opened up with some more water on it. I do get a little bit more of a hint of chocolate or something on the finish that I didn't have before. Maybe that's the sherry influence. I don't know. But all in all, I like it. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I think I'm with you on this one. I'm going to give it a 2.5. I think it hits a good spot for what it is, for the price. It is Ardbeg. You know, they produce good stuff. So I like it. If you pour me a glass, I'm going to drink this one.
That's like an everyday sip.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't really sure. It's 5-year-old whiskey. So, I'm coming in with moderate expectations because it is Ardbeg. You know, they put their name on it, and they generally don't mess around. I have liked everything that I've had from them. Mm-hmm. This one didn't quite hit the mark. I really enjoyed the initial nose and the first sip. Mm-hmm. And if I would have set it down at that point, we'd be having a different conversation. But I didn't, and
you won't either,
I am with you on all of the points that you brought up. It had this brine quality. With water, and by about the third sip, and it was almost like too briny. You know, there was some things about it that were just like, if you would have given me a little bit of pepper, like that cayenne peppery, like hot part was kind of interesting, but I don't need a bunch of it. You know,
it's overpowering.
And the brine part was kind of different. You know, I mean, but I don't need to drink a jar of pickle juice. Like, you know, I want just like a touch of these things mixed in with a good foundation, and I'm with you. It was kind of just all over the board. Every time I went back to the glass to nose it or sip it, it had changed, and not necessarily in a good way. It wasn't bad, but it feels young, and it feels like it needs to grow up just a little bit and integrate itself just a little bit.
It is only 5.
Well, right. But here's the thing: when you were talking about, you know, this is their kind of entry level that you can do some cocktails and stuff with. I can see that, but it's a $50 bottle. You know what I mean? So you're charging me the same price as the 10-year-old, and I'm going to mix cocktails with it. Like if it was a $30 bottle, I think I would be giving it a much higher score.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But it's $50.
Yeah.
You know, I expect a level of quality for $50. I think this would make an awesome Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Because it's got that spice and that brine, and it would make an awesome Bloody Mary. But I mean, if I'm just going to sit here and drink a glass of it, I'm with Mark. Yeah. I think it's just an average glass. I'm going to give it a 2. I was between a 1.5 and a 2. I think it's got some redeeming qualities, and I think that there's some stuff that it did right, but you know, it's not quite there yet.
Interesting bottle.
So 2.25.
Ooh, math's getting easier.
I got the math on that. Man, are you gonna go down now? You don't like it. You are not liking
I'm gonna
this
stand
glass.
it. I was on the verge. I was on the verge of tripping it down, but I'm gonna stick to it. That's what I
Why
gave
is
it.
that?
Because
Why-
it's just not. I was giving.
He was
it the
hoping it would
benefit
come up to it,
it would,
too.
It would grow
It
up
would
in this
prove
glass.
itself to
It
you a
would
little
it would
bit.
work itself out, and
Yeah.
really the last 2 sips have just been over pepper. That's all I'm getting. I mean, it's not an alcohol burn. It's 47.4. Trust me, guys.
Man, I
I'm
don't
used
know
to
what
some
to-
high
No,
alcohol
it's
stuff,
peppery.
but
Yeah.
it's peppery. I'm like, what the hell, man? I mean, I almost coughed because I was like, oh, I need some more.
Is it okay? So it is different. It's got a pepper. I think it's kind of unique and kind of cool, but a lot of people might not, especially with the Ardbeg series. So
Sure,
you're more
sure.
deeper in the peat and
Yeah,
smoke.
I mean, I
and-
can see there's
It's
a little
beastie.
there, but
Really? Wow, I'm getting a ton of it.
I
Right
am
down
too.
the center, man.
It must just be a palate thing.
maybe.
yeah, your palates are broken.
So.
That's
Guys, if you had it, comment. Let us know what you guys think as well. I mean, this is an interesting bottle. I think it's worth a try.
Now, don't get us wrong. I'll help him kill this bottle.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
No, you're not allowed to have it anymore. You wouldn't even keep it on your
We're
bar.
gonna make Bloody Marys with it.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
All right, 2.25.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks
All right.
for watching,
It's lunch,
everybody.
guys.
See you on Thursday.
Cheers.